Alright.
Freedom. No roads. I'm gonna talk about no hospitals. I'm gonna talk about no systems. I'm gonna talk about no justice. I'm gonna talk about people dying. I'm gonna talk about no water. I'm gonna talk about no light. All they need is your support. So come on, let's go support.
Freedom fire.
So come and let's go support.
Freedom fire.
So come and let's go support.
Freedom fire.
Yeah, these are the freedom fighters working hard and talking and talking and talking.
Santa, moi, Tina, Gilale, Nefambeu. After what a life, burn life. And line like when I want ye, not when I want ye. Do not make your way down, not when I want ye. Not when I want ye, not when I want ye. Do not make your way down, not when I want ye. Not when I want ye, don't not when I want ye, don't. Do not make your way down, not when I want ye. Wamangana, akia julo panaku, bombwe. Wamangana, akia julo panaku, konile wikwe ono. Ayamatai, keje sawangeba, ibakwe ono pepepe. Wamangana, akia julo panaku, wamangana, akia julo panaku, konile wikwe ono. Ayamatai, keje sawangeba, ibakwe ono pepepe. Ebeni jeje jeliyo. Maleka shojuba. Jeliyo. Maleka shojuba. Onugba mena wele. Bandi vule tuleso. Onugba mena wele. Bandi vule tuleso. Juna mejo wega na gbene wonye. Na gbene wonye. No na gbene wonye. Donkwa. Juna mejo wega na gbene wonye. Bana gbene gbagele Juna mejo wega na gbene wonye. Gbene wonye. Gbene wonye. Juna mejo wega na gbene wonye. Ilele wamangana akia julo panaku bongwe. Wamangana akia julo panaku konile wikwe ono. Ayamatai keje sawangeba ibakwe ono pepepe. Wamangana akia julo panaku. Wamangana akia julo panaku konile wikwe ono. Ayamatai keje sawangeba ibakwe ono pepepe. Ebeni jeje jeliyo. Maleka shojuba. Ebina jegungun foyo. Maleka shojuba. Ebeni jeje jeliyo. Maleka shojuba. Ebina jegungun foyo. Maleka shojuba. Kama nupa imena wile. Bandi fule jule so. Nupa imena wile. Bandi fule jule so. Omoro bina mejo wega na gbene wonye. Na gbene wonye. Na gbene wonye.
Yo wabusia me mobibia kwaba edino da so Dr. Ren any day mo a oba na wa share video no na yedi nkomo na any day mo anso abranti a ye friend no Eko Bedu Kevin Taylor me wo ho na manfo bi share me videos be about Kevin Taylor all can about the Aborigines Rights Protection Society. Na eja abrantie no nkomodidi mu na all true mfutregu Ghana for any. Some of us, and I mean Dr. Ren, I have no issue if he goes and attack NPP. But in my issue with this abrantie ne say the Aboriginal rights once someone walk Sebio, he should go and learn about the Aboriginal Rights Society. But you say onkonkusia na usua no nya nemudia no a na wo de ababa be che ni followers menim say ni followers do no aye NDC for because ono de wo se wo de John Mahama eba power No problem, no issues. But Sanya Mekai, you know, I'm not going to tolerate a year people like a year Kevin Taylor. Womoba a year in 10 times. Then they try to, do everything about politics. What you say? Everything no is about politics. Yen say nipa, yen gu nipa ni mu ase. And this is what Kevin Taylor, what the time NPP, amemu enentino, what did the Aboriginal Rights Society for Ebabeka NPP for. And for me, Dr. Ren, I love history, especially the history of Ghana. Sebiu, yen and Nanmubi were heroes of the day. Ene Sebiu, yen to and your papa and fam fair woman. When I sit back and I watch the video Kevin Taylor did, it got me upset. It got me pissed. Not because of the attack on the NPP. I know the family, you can attack a Kufuado. All of us have been doing it. It's not something new. And then the family. But Seubeka said, the Aborigines Right Protection Society, NPP, I have an issue with that. Because Ebanesana will go and paying for fighting for the lands of Ghana. Now we go all in the name of politics. There be a brand here. Go fante, one them. You cannot say it on your platform and disrespect the forefathers who formed the society. And na momusunti yan kwafo na sebio yeti wa my Ghana. Now you see, story no we hear about the Aborigines Rights Protection Society no. When suyan kwa actually obi na kachre no an ode mampamri ketuo ode baede ode beka about the Aboriginal Rights Protection Society for once. When nimu nkofo krompo womo hear the Aboriginal Rights Protection for me, he doesn't even know. Even the pronunciation of Aborigines, Kevin Taylor could not pronounce the Aborigines. Or see, Aborigines. And I'm wondering, did Kevin Taylor went to Presec? I'm wondering, Kevin Taylor or Presec? Sebio, you can't even pronounce Aborigines. And you pronounce it Aborigines. Now you see, NDC for the one a dinner chino. Because of the desperation of power, how desperate they are to come to power, they consume every information. I hear the Aborigines father, Kevin Taylor, edit my worm. And I find this very sad, especially when we live in a country where some forefathers toiled, when some forefathers sweat, and when some forefathers gave their all for this country called Ghana. Now, yebenya abrantie bia sabio teni abone pa na wo be gu Ghana for ye heroes ehufin mentwe ma no mentwe ene de di obi be ka tell me bia say minjai because sa video no awo ye by now no he should even delete the video or you will be a friend is saying modicum of respect for our heroes. He will delete the video if in YouTube in the Facebook page because he has disrespected the foundation of Ghana. The founding fathers said, "Na almost when Ghana near Ghana no." This John Riffraff, dirty Kevin Taylor has disrespected them, and you see, it is very sad, very very sad, and you see. I mean, muntie kakra. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, in Ghana's history, no party a coup abuomo pa UP NPP because I will check it how the first coup happened under Kwame Nkrumah. They are the ones who incited a Joseph Anka to make sure so you coup to Kwame Nkrumah or you to Kwame Nkrumah of Abuzia as a prime minister. And no master uses soldiers, no, as I do, a anchor, but I'm found Sanka Buzia, they left Buzia. And a Buzia can say, oh, if you find a Kotuka, me persemidi a kufuado. No of any papa, the ceremonial president. So it means that they cooked the thing from the back. And remember, a party from 1897, I done it and
me point I'm able to all say MPP party free 1897 and I done it and it's really it's very sad. You see, this gentleman don't learn. Also, what if you when you maybe apart from the loud silence away, I will let me speak to him and tell him, say, he should use some time to study, to research, to learn. Because you see, when it comes to journalism, it's all about research. You cannot be a journalist and you don't love research. Then with journalism now, you know, as it's anything. So when you come and tell the Ghanaian, say MPP free 1897, that is false. That is, I mean, ignorant. It's the ignorance to the highest degree. But of course, NDC followers will say, oh wow, fantastic, yes, MPP for free, 1897. God damn it. He doesn't even understand. He doesn't even know about the Aborigine Rights Protection Society. He doesn't even know them. He has not even taken time to research about them. And he will free say, Mama Meka say, MPP ni free satete no. And it hurts. It pains when you get people like this destroying the heroes. I don't have any qualms or problem if he want to attack MPP and insult MPP or whoever he wants to insult, but do not disrespect the heroes. And I will teach you, Kevin Taylor. I will teach you a little bit because unim into me, Dr. Red. I'll take time and educate you for free. What do you say? You try a class of 5, 10, you Jessica. What do you say? A class of 1, 2, you Jessica. For you, I will give it to you free.
So no, SRD 2, I anchor, but I'm found Sanka Buzia, they left Buzia. And a Buzia can say, oh, if you find a Kotuka, me pesemidi e kufuado. No of any papa, the ceremonial president. So it means that they cooked the thing from the back. And remember, a party from 1897, I done it and 1959, which has turned into UP.
This is a palpable lie. This is falsehood. Falsehood. The Aborigines Rights Protection Society is not MPP. Aborigines Rights Protection Society, not MPP. Onim wabon on padisia onsia and into a bar no can't send a ego from him. Let me educate him. What you say? Because you see, it's very, very important we do this. Because we are you say social media no dear. Na eja kwasiafo bi nso afa say ampa wo mo sa na yesi MPP fo no ye de wo free 1897 and wo mo ansa asada no wo mo ho ababa be MPP muhunu ohu Kevin Taylor munsi ne hu say oboa enya no kore. There is nothing with a friend said there is no link between the Gold Coast Aborigines Rights Protection Society with the MPP. Mr. Kevin Taylor, Mr. Enwa, Wabong, Unim, you see, the reason why the Aborigines Rights Society, and Josephine Kano, because his followers are just ignorant. That is it. The same guy Rebecca about citrus acid. The same guy. And I make good a friend is saying, papa friend is saying, kweku team, make good juma, a best in the kweku team juma would timing no. Or kasapa or what would name wabong. Me person me share video no war bodin Aborigines. Aborigines, mama ko say me nsabeka video no abrante ne de sene me no woka and the Aborigines. The Aborigines. Yenhwe me say sebio men sabeka the way na abrante ne ni abrete tin na wo tie mu Aborigines. Anyway, you see, first of all, the formation of this Aborigines, the formation of this Gold Coast Aborigines Right Protection Society was because of one, a lands bill. And the reason why sir, yɛde a friend say, formation of this Aborigines Right Protection Society was because of what? Lands Bill. Now, Obibusa say, what is the Land Bill all about? What do you say? So the unfortunate truth is that his followers don't correct him on the misinformation and inaccuracies, inaccurate historical narratives he spews, and that is true. You see, and that is true. Me say, me a video. I have a citizen Kwame educates. They will just put it there. What you say? I have Mame Saba Moha. Samechia. Omo de beto. I have Noble more. Mechia. Omo de beto. So what you say? As a person, you have to always love to learn, because you see, Sametnaha me can't say me say, Dr. Ren, I do not own monopoly to the world wisdom. If we are seeing saying enya me pena benim ye nkofo bebre a omunim sen but ebia omo time no, they don't have that flexible time. What you say? Ye mu bia sometimes we work from home, we can have some flexibility. What you say? Metimi asori time bia me pe bia no, I can just do the video provided say my work I may I finished on time. What you say? So we opinion say we a journalist now will send out information, especially Kevin Taylor. One no say obegu JANDAM. One no makache him say one no the father of JANDAM. Wabong onsuade. He gets the messages and the news from other people and they feed him. When they brief him, now what they bet na social media and no boom to say jata. Penkophobia many as if say he knows. Onim. Now you see, this Aborigine Rights Protection Society, Kevin Taylor, so I'm NPP, or NPP. The entire media video, because I love a certain manner, on only the founder of Aborigines Rights Protection Society. And I will mention his name. Obonidin on the platform, he didn't even know about the man. Apanidin, the Jacob Wilson say. When I talk about Jacob Wilson say, I get goosebumps all over my body. Because to read about him, to study about him, research about him, and get to know of the great things he did for Ghana, and that he's still being, he's more or less like the unsung hero. We don't even talk about him. It hurts me. And he was the founder of Aborigine Rights Protection Society. Now, the purpose of this formation of this society was to what? To fight against what? Land bill. Now, you see, Papa no a friend Jacob was insane. Mama ma history kakra efa ne ho. Na mentua men common so, because I cannot talk about this Aboriginal Rights Protection Society without giving you the history about Nipakra what they call or they buy. Now, you see, Papa no what the Aboriginal Rights Protection buy. Your friend Jacob Wilson say. Now you see, Jacob Wilson say. You see, Jacob Wilson say, "Ayobia, I said Ghana for ye shiano, and you see a good anymore say. They said Kevin Taylor, a good papa anymore say a year Aboriginal Right Protection Society no they buy an NPP, Mr. Mwa, Mumbon Tungu. It is misinformation, and the young man has with diatro. You see, Jacob Wilson say, and everyone say he was the first multi-millionaire, first Ghanaian multi-millionaire. Now, Obebusa said, Dr. Ren, a prime ben so an odinya the japade, and I said odinya ne home. Now Jacob was in say you'll be an papa a carpenter, and mammy and so a farmer. You will Jacob was in say every a briwa, a safura briwa, a what animal a central region. A one Jacob was in say ye won. Now papa Jacob was in say no. Where you be na osano sikenifie. And into one you know those days I'm money in the Gold Coast time, no need pounds. It's in my chair no £7. £7 ni mono and what they share a jume biase. Na what dot or ye queer. Na queer ni mono. Na I said, no man koye into my man for joining the papa. So we see a carpentry ni kakra. And no sooner koye and we say, those days no, a brofono pe palm wine no yen no. And a Ghana for no so a tuntum for no so pe palm wine no. And ti papa echo into palm wine tapping. Now that could be ana eja ana ju de suo ana so be kɔ na afum akwa so betumi enu abea na wo kɔ aye no ana eja papa yi wo be se onse Ghana fo ya yefre bibi petre eja okohu se aboa owo ene nam dua no so bebi a obe move akobia na aboa na ye de kɔ ho bebi a obe move bi akobia na aboa na ye de kɔ ho enti wo yese wo ofro abeno sorry ofro abeno ties baby obekobia no na I say aboa na we de ekɔ ho and it yem hye no ma ofrifro abeno so be de ebetofo na obetofo no he felt unconscious onya na ye no per what Wikipedia and other research historians akachre ye and he say oh sorry no and ohunu say bag baby a de tini wo no bag bi eda ho. It was gold nuggets and gold dust. Now, this is where he got his riches. This is where he got his money. Now, when he got his riches and his money, in him, every time he wanted to help Ghana come out of colonial era. But Onisika. Now, ena madwene pa wo ma wo man Ghana ne Africa intino. Obesie maybe the gods of the land saw the need to gift him something that he can use to fight for a year independence for a year Ghana and all Africa. So Jacob Wilson went home. He hid a year the gold nuggets and the gold dust. Okodu fear. Now first was he's somebody, he's funny, as historians wrote about him. He's a very funny person. Inti Sebio, Akodu feel or Wusika, gold nugget. It is a sign said, or dress it to say abrofone pepe. I mean, send me a picture, Libiwaha. Let me see if I can get one of his picture, Oko, Oxford Crown One University. The picture, one of the great Africans, let me see if I can get the picture because so the story of Kevin can say Jacob was in say NPP no dear it's really false and we should not entertain it. We shouldn't entertain it at all. I want to show you the picture of the man Jacob was in say. This is Jacob was in say. Now the nickname be Kwao Boni. Infantipim school. Assassin, you see, Infantipim was on that land belonged to this man. And what the chair Infantipim. And you see school, no. The first college in Cape Coast. The first secondary school, Papa we and the chair Infantipim for assassin. He was a Methodist person. No, Methodist, sorry, pa. And into what almost assassin so fancy school die. Into Infantipim, the great Infantipim school, no. Papa we and the assassin here there. What the chair woman. Jacob Wilson say. Now, Jacob Wilson say, I mean in the picture no na minimum and the ending. Oko a friend is saying Oxford. The political history of Ghana, the picture. obehu the press ebobobo kama woman na ma saa picture we etumi beto abonten a yedi hu papa no kra emfonyini ewo Ghana. Now you see, this man Jacob Wilson say, "We are very fantastic." And they say, "Obomodini day a lawyer for a kukuda came together to travel to England to meet the Queen. One co school, but one co school no. Then time or him man one what is what Queen Elizabeth no. A governess now na a share and so Ghana. Woman di mrebi by say." Eyesa asasi bia ewo Ghana bia no eye ohima ne dia a na ye kan the crown lands enti kene me pese me to asasi wo Kumasi abonten so ana pese me to asasi wo Nkran abonten so ana pese me to asasi wo Cape Coast enka ehun krata asem no enka eye Queen Elizabeth asasi di ke hun krata asem no ebe free United Kingdom ansa na we nya asasi ato. And this will be now no castle ye video no se politics in tough wabona po Kevin Taylor and it won't be good Ghana for heroes and won't be good many months. It hurts. And it's a video, it hurts. Listen to me carefully. Jacob Wilson say one go school send him a guy. But then what ya dear be an air idea na ye. He formed this Aborigine Rights Protection Society with groups of intellectuals. And some of the group members, na ebi J.P. Brown, J.E. Casely Hayford, William Esuma, na Pabna Sechi, H. Van Heen, Mensa Saba. Na adia ba ko a wo ye yempo a na efe say. Obomodina rente ship a your friend Alba. And with 2 years sika. And what the far enyansafo a o makọ school yi. Okofa bi free Sierra Leone. Enti ship no the fani pa free Sierra Leone. Akukudam lawyer for obefa bi free Ghana. And what to so called Nigeria. And what kofa lawyers. And what no woman na etu kwan ba United Kingdom. And ombeshia Queen Elizabeth. Now ombeshia Queen, sorry, ombeshia the Queen then of England. Now ombeshia Queen. That time na Queen Elizabeth, I beg your pardon. I think say I think Victoria or something here. So at that time, the Queen, what happened? They said, well, they are something in our to that, even though one goes school, and I had the founder, or no, so I had the financier of the group. And the modern days, say good nugget, one more they call and the modern days is almost about 200 billion. It is estimated, say it will be about $200 billion. So he was a prosperous man. He was very rich. And what day, what about UK? What about UK? Anna was saying, and Muntie, Queen Victoria, thank you. King George at that time was married to, I don't want to do anything. I mean, I'm sure the queen, I'm sure the particular queen or the king are dead. But I think say it was around the King George and Queen Victoria era. So, Ninyan Semino, what can you say? I was a friend is Infantino. Na Ghana for no, I can't tell what other lawyers no ma can brofum. I dey chere or him man. Said the papa S and say, assassin no a mo pese the crown lands no, a mo pese Queen Lydia. Sebio. And yeah, move fire right, no. Move fire right, assassins, you know, none of the Jadima. Would you mobile say as sailors, mobile as tourists. Afraid your mabanamo abedia so mobile fire assassin. Oh, any yampini. And eja ekoye, Chimam chin kakra. As lawyers, omo any debate home, and they spend some time in England to make sure, say, because Jacob was sincere, said, so woman in Kunim dia, they should not return to Ghana until say, sa land bill no ye between. Now people be say land bill na idea. And now cause Zimbabwe. Obroni bi a wote eye England. Asase bi a was Zimbabwe ye say ye ne dia. It was because woman nyankofo bi te say eye empapafo ya bebo omudin. Eye J.E. Casely, Hayford, J.P. Brown. Woman J.E. Casely Hayford. Woman John Mensah Saba. To fight the land bill in Zimbabwe. The same thing happened in South Africa. They did not get people to fight for them to get the authority of their lands. So there is nowhere for you to link NPP to Aborigines Right Protection Society. We are sir. That's Sebio. We are political idiot. We are sir. Now you're a political fool. Then you don't reason. Then you've not read about the history of Ghana. Because the formation of the Aboriginal Rights Protection Society was to protect the lands, not only in Ghana, but all over West Africa and also Africa. And until West Africa for our lands are not being owned by Akwesi Bruni, the Englishman. It was because when they fought for the West Africa, that was when he thought of said we will have to go and fight for our brothers and sisters in the South Africa and other places, East Africa and other places. So Jacob Usinse is a nationalist. He believed in unity. And Jacob Usinse Sunti and Yawa Etiwa Forest. And Jacob Usinse Sunti and Yawa Achimota Forest. And Jacob Usinse Ada Roma and Ene Obi Ton Wasasi or Ghana. Yen Ton farm for free. Now after every 99 years, Biano, we renew and krata. Enti assassinate what Ghana no. We lease it 99 years as 100 years. And yet Jacob was insane trap. What do you say? So please, let nobody come and disrespect our great heroes. Say, and then because politics in tea, now yet the Papa 40 said Jacob was insane, bata NPP. Man, yes, sir. Now you see what Jacob was say after he won the land bill, did for the African continent. He said it gave a room for him to plan with the lawyers for them to seek for the independence of Ghana. And yet, the land bill, you to me abolish the land bill, the crown lands na anko England for huntino, and to me, I would jina so. Enti Kwame Nkrumah no anu later no mo be joining UGCC mo forming UGCC no. All these things was because Jacob was say opening the eyes of the black man. Otiasi. That was where they came here in England and then they got the formation of the Pan-African because he was a rich man. He had the money to spend and he had the money to make sure that he will gather the black intellectuals. So can you Jacob was in say and can they will be tia santimemua can't mean tongue was I think I say you 2 for the and I'm Jacob was in say so. So there is nowhere the formation of ARP, the ARPS, the Aboriginal Rights Protection Society, a political party, and a NPP. One more mebubo obudi. There's no way NPP ni bi ewom. Oti ase. Now you see, I mean, Emma Madiana, you're breaking a new maybe down. Now you see, the bill no sankaya jitu mua. Sankaya jitu mua. Enka all traditional lands. What Ghana now will belong to the queen and her family. Sanka Jacob was sincere and gada intellectuals, lawyers are and kasa bill no. The land bill. Sanka yeji tumua. Enka Ghana and sa singing na. Enka beye England for dia. And oko Zimbabwe lands ni bi wa England for dia. Oko South Africa lands ni bi wa England for dia. Enti Jacob was sincere there. Why unsung hero. I've talked about him to many of my friends, many of my peers know. What do I say? Many of my peers know about Jacob Sensei. You see, I get passionate when I'm talking about Jacob Sensei because Ghana yet kronim die assassin Kenya yedia. Africa assassin kemumbe brenu yedia because of the land bill. England 4 years so introduce you to their colonial people. Now, number 2, during that time, citizen Kwame educated. Kwame educated. For real, Kwame Wopa. Kwame said my first time hearing his name. Kwame we are sure. I hope you are not pulling my leg. Anyway, so you see, the formation of the Aboriginal Rights Protection Society was formed to oppose the colonial master from thieving our lands. So it was formed because it was not formed because it's a political party. NPP ni NDC abusua bia no a mo ka saa ho so ye beka omumpo mo ka mpo e beka se ne ke eye enzamafo ne mfantefo yi na eja because Jacob was say is a fanti what you say he is also called Jacob Wilson Kwao say what you say from Anomabo. So the misinformation Kevin Taylor has spread, I'll tell my brother, yes, we are doing politics. Yes, we know where you stand. Yes, we know, you say, so did your mama, but please don't try and miss some misinformation with it. Yes, or tell one to know the befra at the comfort or obey or mine and sass the mine. Yes, I will be anyone. What you say? Now, one of the things I say a Shannon so about Emra Jacob Wilson say, Sebu, or no Akobo Modia Aboa, Ama, a friend say, yes, sir, I can't sass. What? At that time, no one young phobia so one almost sign. A friend say, woman so append almost signature. And at that time, now a ya one more time print, Eddie come. Now, Sanko for baby boom. One more sign petition. 15 kings at that time. 15. I am from Makumako 15. Anna Jacob will say, I can't one more sign petition. Bakun Amono the 4th, king of Anomabo. Number 2, Otu the 4th, king of Abra. Kwame Esando the 4th, king of Inkusukum. Yes, Inkusukum. Bedu Bonsa, king of Ahanta. Hema Denchi, King Ata, king of Behin. Ukonzimawa Western Apollonia. One day I will come and tell you the story about Western Apollonia, the enzymes, the Discoff people. Maybe a woman free. Dear, Womo colonizing womo. The Dutch colonized the Nzemes. Inti Nzemafo no, a lot of them, no, omasifo bebre no a sa miss for no. Womo no efri a friend say Holland. And ombesue ewo the apple. A friend say Nzema eponano. Being what? The Apollonia for. One of these days we will talk about it. Anna, Rekun, a Tubra, or also a king of Western Wasa. Anna, a friend is saying, Quisible, no, or no, a friend is saying, or Henia, or no, a free, a tuabo, maybe a MP, Elembele, a free no, a tuabo, a whole free, a honor, sa, or Heno, a free. We can't one more signing. A friend is saying, petition, no, I need to move to me, tina sheep, you to be far lawyers, tina sheep, go England, echo fight against the land bill, no, I need to me, nyaya sassy, woman, I'm able to. And it's very important to note this. What you see? It's very important. The entire person just said NPP has nothing to do with this. One more were Central and Western chiefs. And those days, no mean I from a Western region. Now they into us another day for another education. And Eastern Apollonia, no, Atua booking near Western Apollonia and Zamano, near Chemumi, Western Apollonia and Eastern Apollonia. Western Apollonia near Jojomoro, Lembele side, and the Eastern Apollonia near Axim, Econo, Evalua, Ejra, Womo. Those Uko Axima, they were the academicians. Axim Kuruno. It was made up of the academicians, rich men. A Kufuadu ko school, Ewo, then Quada Brim, a whole cool school, because I want to have Brofu Pen and Omo schools. And in not those days, no, yen another more cool school or Axim, no. Woman abrofo net na classroom. Ohona na yekire English, Latin. Ohona na yekire ectobrute. Ohona na yekire sa anuoma no. So they learn Latin and English. And then the Dutch as then they kind of Dutch and a German for kind of Dutch and Holland for the near Dutch, right? Now, into us. So I am fufubi to say a year in Quantabisa, king of the Intra. Achin the second, king of Ekumfi, Kobana Kondia, king of Elimina, Kobana Hama, king of Ejumaku, and over 64 chiefs of the western and central provinces, with the legal shine freedom fighters, your man paying for me. Shine with the legal help of Edward F. Hunt, a solicitor from Sierra Leone, who was assisted by the leading London firm of legal practitioners, Hurst, Cripps and Co., and Mr. Corey, barrister at law. The deputation consisting of Jacob Wilson, the leader and the founder, the financier, Thomas Freeman, Edward Jones, and George Hughes, both merchants of Cape Coast, succeeded in their mission because to fight the queen against the land. And now person omofa nti senka papa we am fight for Ghana ye land sir enke assassin enke wo Ghana nyina can say what Ghana nyina no enke ye it belongs to the queen England for there. Now they returned to Gold Coast with a letter from the Queen Victoria. Yes, it was Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria, thank you for the information. Queen Victoria abrogating the land bill and a gift of her best. This was a letter mounted on a plot of land near the sea, which later became known as Victoria Park. It is a Kevin Taylor Casse. The ARPS, no, NPP, it's a lie. He got his fact wrong. He got this message wrong. But don't propagate the agenda of JANDAM. That's why I say Kevin, unya time now today, if you do more research about most of the things that you come out to say, even when you were mentioning Aborigines, you couldn't even pronounce it well. Who can Aborigines? What do you say? Because Sankayadi, we are familiar with the story of ARPSR, and can pronounce the word Aborigine as Aborigines. And I'm surprised to say, who go school to say Presec, and you don't even know how to pronounce Aborigines, and you pronounce it Aborigines. It's really surprising anyway. But anyway, young question. Now, young shadi ebi wa ase. Young shadi ebi wa. Wamu ba ya Queen Victoria eji tu mu se yen beton asase ni bi no. Na asase ni belongi to Ghana fo ahemfo no. Obi te se Jacob Osense. Senka wo ye anibrefo a enka Ghana asase no. Anka woni Queen Victoria eye nkrata se asase ni nyina ba ya ne dia. But onye anibrefo. Enti wo ba ye. Enkunimdi a wo mu di ye. An wodi eye asase no nkrata ni tumiye no. Ahemfofo no omo nyina aboa ya wo mo sae no petition no. Wodi ema obi as efiri na ekọ asase ni nyina ya mo asase. Na emmom no mompe kakra bi na yemfa mboa na yemfa nya wo mankuo adwuma. Ene nti ebi mu twa asase ni bi. A na ewu te se government lands na nkofo bi ba ya omo tonton government asase no. What do you say? Omo ba omo tonton asase. So nti ube hu a ye wo Victoria Park e wo Koforidua. Because ahemfo no a omo sign petition wo so agya asase ni bi say e yemfa nya park na yemfa nhye oba na nemonyam eye Queen Victoria say wo gi petition ni tu mu na wamfa itumi so because that time no na ye won kwasu na ye hye wo mase nti na omo otumi ye ompe bia mbetimi dia yeye but wo tie nti ye wo Victoria Park ewo eye Koforidua ye sure say Koforidua fo ebedi adanse sanso ene ye wo eye Victoria Park ewo Salt on ye will be wo Winneba ye will be wo Elimina ye will be wo Axim ye will be wo eye Accra ye will be wo eye Chedi what you say eno ene eme nya Victoria Park sa eja ene ye nyina no ye hunu bebre na ade ba ko a ye nhye ne nso ni emra wo mo ba wie ye no a wo mo nya nkunimdi a asase na ba Ghana dia na prempe ya chi no edne ko Seychelles odi ase na ya chi na prempe edne ko Seychelles enam papa Jacob Osense so ena me ekoje eye na prempe e free enkwasomu edne ba o my God enunti ye hunu the story no now we should not associate the ARPS said when we NPP for. There were nowhere in the history of Ghana a story Ebeka Jacob Osense, the founder of the ARPS, and our establishing the Aborigines Right Protection Society when we in DC for. You can research it, you can learn about it. You can Google about him. His name is Jacob Osense, the first millionaire Ghana ever had. The first millionaire at that time. And in Tibet to me, I content time so Google it, Wikipedia, we will be in so open and to us school now we be at Oxford. You can also research about him because Oxford has a lot to say about this man. Now Juneno was very Abrofono even found him very interesting person because one go school, but steady Brunino Kasa, no, they be here jokes. And one of his jokes are a man for a taika. I mean, I say, be a man who na men share the jokes. I say, the jokes need be a assembly of kind say, the epoprams of then, let me see if I can get it. I can get it. So, I mean, I'll share it on my wall. Now, a man for Ababa. But see, anyway, I was saying the high tides of the sea has nothing to do with the crablets. And now Okan one phantom. And on I not to be a takas and phantom for the Omo can bro for no de brof omoka infantia na brofo the name because they lived among the white people. And so krum kasa no a, sometimes they forget themselves that they are speaking to the white man. So they had to switch from the Fanti to English. Iti ema womo kasa no bebre no omo ka na brofo no any name. Just like Jacob was say the time we used to this particular the epopramus something tides something nothing to do with the crab. Oh, these are the things we all have to learn. What do you say? Was it dog? Isn't Mr. Citrix's fault? Unfortunately, the wicked leaders and politicians have burned all the history books. That is so true. That is so true. That is so true. So Abusia, he was known as a joker. What you say? He was also known as a joker, and man called Say the epoprams on the sea has nothing to do with the Akesos podicide. The epoprams of the sea has nothing to do with Akesos podicide. There's a couple of photo no the fantin in there was that the moon fantin life comedies kakra wom hand you have to understand about the both fruits. Now fantin Cape Coast infantin is different from Tad infantin. Into this story no were Ed. What you say? Kwame and Nkrumah Ishmael say we let what you are saying is true. We learn about him in high school. Kevin Taylor, them says school now or no. One kwan go sua hwe we sua ba papa o. I mean no be super boat. Anyway, now we have to understand that you won't go for bebre no omoboa. So Jacob Wilson say nyoma bia we ya me pese me danedi e de kyerɛ me nya ka kyerɛ sɛ oboa me yakɔgye na na prempe every Seychelles into Asantefo respect this man Jacob Wilson say very very much because of what he did during his time. Nyoma otimi ye edeboa eye oh my God. And then Kabaka said Jacob Wilson say I for me me kind of say he is a true freedom fighter. What do you say? He fought for the freedom of Africa. He fought for the independence of Ghana. After the land bill, and our lawyers almost steady the friend is saying ekwanya eda emra ni mu a Ghana fo betumi ade agye ye ho e free province. Now bear in mind so on one school he was just a palm wine tapper. Ana nyame eche na de. What you say? And enti obi sa odin sika eboae ema wo man no yitumi nya ye fa ho. And one of the things I love about this man it's about how he was nationalistic. Today we don't see that. And that is the reason why I made a video because when Kevin talked about him and tried to associate him with this NPP group of gangs, this NPP group of terrorists, it pains me because who good the founder and the man who helped us gain independence, we should not do this to our heroes. Yes, you can go on and talk about NPP, the rot of NPP. You can start talking about NPP from 1966 or whatever you want to talk about. You can talk about the JB Danko and Co, who equally when a year power grant with his money founded a year UGCC. And then he brought in our brother Akweje. And Akweje also being somebody at that time, the Greater Accra, Eastern Region, brought in people like a friend is saying, JB Dankwa. Yes, JB Dankwa, we all know, was somebody who was desperate, somebody who was a 419 person, so to say, who fed on the people's meetings and gave it to the white supremacists. But don't come and make it as if say you will be to say Jacob Wilson say anything. Womuna say no more terrorist group. Please, when you do that, it's very bad and it's sad. What do you say? Was it say grandson was Professor Say of KNUST, in the 1970s. His daughter, I know, was in London in 1990, in the 90s. I am sure she is still here. I am sure. This would be cool to interview. Okay, all right. Bro, so what links now? Now the mom. Hey, professor, me am a professor yana. Professor say. Papa ya, a friend is saying, what my Jenny Bank, Union Bank, Mortgage Bank, or no, now can answer no. Say, oh no, dear, me anybody because only dear me one a number. Let me see, say me one a picture. Say, oh no, dear. Now me say, me a picture there. Actually, I don't know whether if you can also see. Say, Papa, you know. We are, Papa, we are. Shilotech. We are now, Papa, we are now. Prof, we are now. Say, you know, and you know, they are now. Anyway, so it's important to fact check before spending information. Yeah. I mean, that is true. You cannot send information without fact checking. We have to do that. Please, we need to fact check information. So please, NPP, Shronkon, they have nothing to do with the ARPS. ARPS was formed, to oppose the land bills Anna United Kingdom, led by the Queen, wanted to introduce to Ghanaians to seize all our lands. So please, we should not try and disrespect our heroes who fought so hard for us to at least assassinate history. And to say and Zimbabwe, Amanfo, England for Ajo Masas Nibino. Senkanye Jacob was sincere. So that is what I wanted to put out there. Now, this particular JANDAM by Kevin Taylor, we should stop. As you see, we understand we are going into the election. But try, don't associate good men to evil people. Try and disassociate the ARPS from these people, this group of 419s. What you say? These cartels. Why? Why? Because and I'm Jacob who's say sunti and I work Achimota Forest and I'm sunti a work Tiwa Forest. What you say? So please, MPP free by your answers. So I beg you, let's try and do our research before we come out and then we talk about some of these things. Now, we did chat to one. There were a lot of good things that this man Jacob Wilson said did. For now, I can say he was a Methodist. Assassin a young Fantipim, he gave the land to them. A young Fantipim assassin on the chair warm. What you say? So open references you can. With me, I go through the economic and society tradition and tradition and change economic society. You can also do reference on Grove Richard Falula. What you say? Boundaries and scare woodlands. What you say? Chiefs, boundaries and scare woodlands. You can also do references on the neglected aspects of the activities of the Gold Coast Aborigines Right Protection Society. What you say? Let us do these kind of references, checks before we come out and we talk. What I say? So let us not come here and say a MPP for the Aboriginal Rights Protection Society. MPP. MPP bad abe. UGCC ada Romana. Younger science ma for your fanum. A friends a par grant mo. Womu musika no mote political party. Ana ejamofa lawyers if we can. JB dan kwa no ka ho. Ana eja womu be tete womu abaye di omai sremo. The good men that are omai bi amaye. Emeye mbu omai no mutia. Why? Sremo. Now, we did chat to Maka and your money impact on the international exposure. Now, the ARP, pardon me, the Aborigines Rights Protection Society interactions with the global Pan-African and anti-imperialist movement, rested on the ability of these interactions to not only bring the grievances of the Gold Coast natives to the global stage, but also to help the Gold Coast gain leverage with which to lobby the colonial government in Gold Coast to recognize the legitimacy of their cultural, nationalistic, and political aims of gaining independence. The best more 419 JANDAM. The best more yeah. So number 2, they also helped us, gain momentum in the news on the success of various anti-colonial efforts to reach the Gold Coast, particularly Japan victory in the Russo-Japan War, and also the Ethiopia victory in the first Italo-Ethiopian War. And Jacob was saying, no, he is the unsung hero. Ghana of which, being a grandson from Elembelena, Yenanani Kwame Nkrumah. Yes, but for me, I've always talked about Jacob Sensei being one of the greatest man. Sebiu, or my Ghana, or Boa Yenya, and then Kota Sasia, and yes, over UK, Nabaja Sasa Krata. What you see, there be Ubeta Sasia. What you see? Yeah, the Ekose had nothing to do with the UP party, and Park Grant had nothing to do with the UP party. That is so true. So Obibia Obese, Charlie, the boy is doing dirty politics. NDC for he is trying to do more dirty politics. And we here, what do I say? NDC now person neighbor power. Bring NDC. Tell Ghanaians what Mahama did and what Mahama, or by what he is going to do again or will do if voted into power. But don't come and say ARP, a terrorist group. How dare you? Kofanti, how dare you? Even when he was saying Aborigines, you couldn't even pronounce Aborigines. You were just there saying Aborigines. In him, you can Aborigines. Oh, Buka Aborigines, cry, wouldn't mean and Aborigines. Oh, please. Answer, sir.
Anytime the NDC should hold on to principles and values, said anyway, skate. I'm going to tell you my brother. Oh, too quite.
But in Aborigines.
Into Ghana Congress Party. Into UGC, no. A good father of a bush and forum. Almost the same UGC, no. Edani Dine and GCP. K.A. Buzia in 1952. After it is going to show you, say, and yes, something new. This is the real NPP. Now, when we come back, young Ghanaians, more with the ATM register, more person more some test conform, more university, tertiary institutions. We had the NPP for more. Ebia, one study NPP history. More when you are crying, and now when we start questions, as we have busa NDC, and you have a call back. Now, my children NPP no, na say any dear, it's seen then, and you knew it is part of the NPP. Now, let's go back. Now you see this.
Obeyi picture naturally.
It's what we call the Aborigines Rights Protection Society. It was formed on the 4th of August, 1897. Maybe NPP ase. Sa ekwowe, osha far right wala Ghana for women the Aborigines Rights Protection Society.
I don't say Ebusia Messi was the Aborigines Right Protection. Oh, here we are Ghana for women in the idea. Oh, the boldness what the Aborigines, We have been out here, you say, oh, Kevin, what being, hey, Kevin knows what he's talking about. A typical somebody who was raised. What do you say? Aborigines. I mean, what someone this guy. When Nemo, there's nothing called Aborigines. Aborigine. Kevin, Aborigine.
Acts. It was formed on the 4th of August 1897. 1897. And it's Ekuwe. Now, Ekuwe, no, Ninjina so on a day, dear Intina Maya Tisa Ekuwe, a dear Adjene and an attachment. The Aborigines Right Protection.
Ebusia, me kwa na meti Aborigines ana. But just also ti Aborigines ama me hu thumbs up. So what say or say Aborigines because me nim say bia me kwa na meti Aborigines. Aborigines.
Ghana fobi ene den eye abrofu bi eka omutiri mu say omo beti ekuwi. Now so okay eye facts na can wanna say the Aborigines Right Protection Society was formed.
I beg. Me pamucho me say me mo me no me nim say bia me kwa na me ka Aborigines.
Underestimated Gold Coast Convention. Sa Aborigines Protection Act for no. And omu dani mu omu bo minimum from 1897. Yebedu 1947. Na sa. Na fe sa Aborigines for no from art no AR.
Capo. Charlie, so this guy where we say people they follow him like that. Hey, Aborigines. Kakra. Aborigines. Charlie. Hey. Ebusia.
TS4 no. Omudi besisa bedani UGCC.
Or see Aborigines if only did exercise by UGCC. Hey. No, Charlie, seriously, this guy Okopresek. Just when I heard it too. He said loud and wrong. Hey, or that dear pa. Charlie, you guys, you sure say this guy go Presek. Aborigines. Now Presek went to Munim Aborigines, born Aborigines.
Hey. In 1947, no. Sa again on muti some no Ghana as some buying and the Gold Coast no. A din is sign ebedu the UGCC. In the picture na eno mugumuno inti utu abrofuri nyina.
In the picture na eno mugumuno utu abrofuri nyina. Charlie, analysis be party. Hey, God. Charlie, justice for Aborigines. Oh, Charlie, justice for Aborigines. Hey, justice for Aborigines. Hey, and we gumuno. Kapo. Charlie, been cutting honum kwan fan sending me video. No, just a video. No, I say the title of the video. No, the NPP has been changing its name up till now. Ufri 1 hour 46 minutes walk on one. Aborigines. Hey! Eh? Pati, we be so abasses and you pronounce no America. I'm for defending.
Film abaya Ghana for. It is all kind facts.
Noble, yes. Citric acid. Citric acid, no can citric acid. Cedric. Oh.
That's what the fact says. The ARPS developed into the United Gold Coast Convention. Inti sa Aborigines are there you know. Afet
sa Aborigines are there na yeti you know. Ne nia bre wo kan we hunu say yes. Hey,
idini besesaye. Ebedani UGCC United Gold Coast Convention. Now, the reason is simple. Pa Grant, a member of the ARPS, proposed to Dr. Joseph Boache Dankwa.
Now Pa Grant, he was a member of a friend said Aborigines and the enemy. What a shock. Hey, guy.
To include some of the former members of ARPS to be part of the newly to be formed UGCC, since they had already started a similar movement. Inti eye obi a friend Pa Grant ena oni eye Ekufuado nana eye
the founder of Aborigines Right Protection Society, Jacob Sensei, died in 1902. Was it 1902 or 1909? Yeah, 02 or 09. UGCC Badabe. Hey, you see the way this boy, you see the way the boy, he take the story, miss him. You did it, you could say, hey, all because he wants to do propaganda for John Mahama to come back to power. Some rami me rap and cabeto me CD.
Papa Nia. Omo no me so beti UGCC.
Aha. Kofi Osei say I know this issue when I was in primary school at the year is it Station Experiment School. So look at hey Aborigines.
Na omo beti UGCC no and background catch Kufuado. Ne wofa say oh. Eyen Kufuado no ka Aborigines fu no.
Hey, this guy can lie, pal. See the way the guy take the story, you know. The Aborigines Rights Protection Society. The formation was because they were fighting against the land bill. But the other can't UGCC. What man?
Me go for so no so o ma dwunu mo bia kan ti yanfo mu bi meka ye ho na yanfa nti UGCC no eti power grant na suggest kire Dr. Joseph Boachi Dankwa say mumma yanfa mo meka ye ho na yenya den na yanti UGCC Aborigines na gu
Aborigines na gu. You see the Aborigines for na beka UGCC ho. What a shock. What? Kin me mate. Hey. Hey. Oh no. It's really, really unfortunate. But I mean, anyway, the way a friend is saying, Abranti we Etieno. This is how it is. What you say? You see the point here is when we say you say Pagrant joined UGC ARPS at 20. ARPS was a society. Pagrant was not a member of that society. A lot of people, the formation of the society, Pagrant was not a member. So please don't say Pagrant joined the society at the age of 28. If you have any document, send it to me, I'll read it. Because the UGCC was formed in 4th August 1947. At that time, Jacob was in say, so don't let us link the two together. Pagrant formed UGCC because of many other things that one day I will come in and teach. ARPS is different from UGCC. The formation of ARPS was to fight land bills. Now the Queen wanted to take all Ghanaian lands. Now I hear the Queen of England there. And Jacob Wilson-Say had to come because he was a millionaire at that time. He had lawyers from Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Ghana to come and stay in England. They brought the Alba ship. They lived here in England, made sure that they won the case and came back. And when they came back, with respect to the Queen Victoria at that time, and almost started so almost forming a year Victoria Parks, a bill Cape Coast, Elimina, Kufurudia. What do you say? So just like the way freedom fighters is, yes, the main people that formed these freedom fighters, Ghana, Warfire, Dr. Ren, or any David, and some people were with us and then they left. I'm out for education, but they were not the people who formed it. And to be to set Pagrant, no, he followed it. He said, yeah, and there are a lot of societies I'm for, yes, they are, but he was not an integral member. Pagrant, aftermath, when he also got money, and like I told you, Axim no Pagrant free. At that time, it was one of the elites. I want to know free. Majority of the millionaires in Ghana at that time, the timber merchants, the cocoa farmers, the palm wine tappers, no ton kubangwa oil. No, I want to know the Ombako school. Na school na very one of the prestigious school. Na ya bro for money. Kufuor Dominyina could school a year exit once upon a time. So there's nowhere you should bring a friend and say.
It is going to show you, say, and yes, something new. This is the real NPP. Now, when we go back, young Ghanaians, more with the ATM register, more person more tuaba, more some test conform, more university, tertiary institutions, we had the NPP for more, ebia, one study NPP history. More when you are quite enter when we start questions, as we have busa NDC, and you have a go back, now my chemo NPP, no, na say, any dear, it's sin, then, and new. It is part of the NPP. Now, let's go back. Now, you see this. This is what we call the Aborigines Rights Protection Society. It was formed on the 4th of August, 1897. Maybe NPP ase. Sa ekwowe, osha far right wala Ghana for wumni ade ade mecheche wumni nyina. The Aborigines Rights Protection Society, IFN Act. It was formed on the 4th of August, 1897.
You see, he took a story from here, modern Ghana. He took the story from here, modern Ghana. Obi natural story, no. Anna Nipakono alenke the story. So he took the story from modern Ghana. I'm just even being he took the story from modern Ghana. So the modern Ghana story, this is how it goes. It says, Friday, 4th August, marks exactly 120 years since the famous Aborigines Rights Protection Society was formed in the Gold Coast, modern-day Ghana. On Friday, the Ghana's 60th year on, Planning Committee intend to hold a memorial and Thanksgiving service at the South Pond in the Central Region to mark the establishment of the United Gold Coast Convention, the first national political movement in the country, established on August 4th, 1947. According to the Chief of Staff, Abu Jinapo, it's a momentous day in the issue of the country since it was issued the fight against the Crown's Land Act Bill of 1987. Even when you go on, what do I say? So even if Ed Ash said, I'll say sorry if I use the word join instead of follow. Yes, there is no way I see a cassette Pargrand was a member of. No. Pargrand followed, just like all of us follow other freedom fighters and other associations, other things. But he was not a member. Let's establish the fact. But you see, they took inspiration from the Aboriginal Rights Protection Society to stand on, because it was the Aboriginal Rights Protection Society, and the Namswa, the African eye, what I say, to know about a Nyama Abrofono de. Now remember at that time, during the slave trade, not Bibini Nisikasa. So when they got a man called Jacob Sensei, a palm wine tapper, who was a multi-millionaire, who had gold, had gold nuggets and gold dust in abundance, sponsoring them and financing them, then the intellectuals at that time had to do more work on how they can gain independence. And that is why no wonder Ghana was the first country to attain independence in Africa. It was because we had somebody who was a financier, who was working towards a day, and he fought against this Crown Land Bill Act, so that England will own all the lands in Ghana. So please, medas medibesia, but yenti kakra Aborigines yenti kakra.
In 97, and yeti kuwi. Na ekuwe no, ninjina so ne den ntina mayeti sa ekuwi. E den adwene ena na etechiri. The Aborigines Rights Protection. Adwene be na na etechiri a Ghana fo bi ene den eye abrofo bi eka omutibo mu se omo beti ekuwi. Now so okan facts neck. I want to say the Aborigines Rights Protection Society was formed on the 4th of August 1897. It was formed to protect.
Pargrand was a member. Pargrand was not a member of the Aborigines Rights Protection. The people that founded the The founder was Jacob Wilson. Say he had lawyers to help him because they wanted to sell the land. England wanted to own all the lands. Pa Grant at that time was a small boy. It's just like when Kwame Nkrumah came and he brought Young Pioneer. There were people who were young and they joined because it was a movement. But he was not an integral member. Let's establish this fact. Pa Grant at that time, when the Aboriginal Right Protection Society was established, was just a young man, 20-something years. He was nowhere near the people at that time. So please, let's establish that. What do you say? Let's establish it and let's not come and make it a fuss to say Pa Grant was a member. He was not a member. Just like you say UGCC, a member today, UGCC, the people were the members of UGCC, it's different from the people that have come after UGCC. But people can associate themselves with UGCC. Their what's it called? Maybe what their beliefs, what they stood in for. What you say? Anyway, Aborigines kakra. What you say?
Is an American Muslim, political American Muslim. UGCC, since they had already university, tertiary institutions, where they are NPP for moi, ebia, mun study NPP history. Moi, mun ya kwan, and now when we say questions, as we busa NDC, aseno, and you have a call back, na ma chremo NPP no, na say, any dear, it's in the new. It is part of the NPP. Now, let's go back. Now, you see this. This is what we call the Aborigines Right Protection Society. It was formed on the 4th of August, 1897. Maybe NPP ase. Sa ekwowe, osha far right wala Ghana for wumni ade ade mecheche wumni nyina. The Aborigines Right Protection Society, IFN Act. It was formed on the 4th of August, 1897. 1897. And yet ekwowe. Na ekwowe no, ninjina so ne den. Die ntina ma yete sa ekwowe. E die adwene ena na etachiri. The Aborigines Right Protection. Adwene be na etachiri a Ghana fo bi ene den eye abrofo bi eka omutibo mu se omo beti ekwowe. Now so okan eye facts na kan wanna say the Aborigines Right Protection Society was formed on the 4th of August 1897. It was formed to protect the traditional land tenure practices of the indigenous Gold Coast people from being usurped by the colonial government of Britain. Some of its co-founders were John Mensah Saba, J.E. Casley Hayford, J.W.C., J.P. Bean J.W.C., J.W.C., J.P. Brown, and others, with some of its presidents being J.W.C., J.P. Brown, and Kobina Sekshi.
You see where he took the story from. And I just want you guys to know how this guy, he is somebody who pick and choose stories that suit him. The person that wrote the story, these kind of NPP for they want to link the history and make it say their forefathers were part of the Aborigines' right protection. It is not true. It is not true. It is a palpable lie. There is no way you can link any member of a Kufuor's family to the Aborigines' right protection. There is no way. But you see, like I was saying today on one platform, and on the platform, one of our fine gentlemen was talking about a Kufuor. And I was saying that, Doc, what a Kufuor is doing, he is writing good speech behind. Today, we are alive, we know that what a Kufuor is saying is different from his actions. Now the question here is the fact of the matter is a Kufuor no, and then when him say a time will come, 50 years, but whatever he left behind, which is the speech, will be read by the Ghanaian, the youth. So if we don't counter his speeches and present the right picture to the Ghanaian, many Ghanaians that will come after us will think or might think that Akufo-Addo was a great leader. Because when you pick up his speeches and you read it, it sounds what? Knowledgeable. It sounds like somebody who is a wise man. But we that we are currently living, we know that Akufo-Addo's speech is a contradiction to the actions. And that is why I, Dr. Ren, I call him a man with no character. That whatever he says is different from his what? His actions and his deeds. So fast forward. People want to link the family of Akufo-Addo JB Dankwa to the Aborigine. Please, it's palpable lie. There is nowhere these people were co-founders of Aborigine Rights Protection Society. No. It is only one founder. His name is Jacob Wosensei Aboyi. He is the man that gave the land of Fantipim free of charge to the people of Cape Coast because he was what? A Methodist man. Let us not come and lie to ourselves and make people think, say, a friend is saying, the UGCC or Power Grant, Aman and Zema, if Power Grant was part of the ARP, I will say it. This is false news, and nobody should respect that news. These news are news that, it's just like the same way that they said that the Big Six, Akufo-Addo and co says their parents were part of the Big Six. Which Big Six? When they were the ones fighting against us from getting independence. How can they be the Big Six? But today, you and I, we swallow that message. We believe that message. That yes, the Big Six, JB Dankwa, Akwejeyi, Oforiata, it is nowhere true that these people were a part of the Big Six. But you see, like what I told you about Akufo-Addo, he is leaving the speeches behind. And one day when he's dead and gone, we will not. How many people will be alive to say, to tell the youth that his actions, and then so we have to let the nation know. We have to write the story as it is. And yes, sir, one day they will even say the Aborigines Right Protection Society, it was even Akufo-Addo's uncle who was the founder. Who will be there to defend? Let us not peddle lies. I hate it. And distort the history of a great man called Jacob Wosensei. Man born from Anomabo who fought for Ghana.
So, I couldn't tell me this Aborigines Protection Society, no. Now, Omuti said, I want to buy Ghana, Sanson, by sending a bear, Abrofono.
Jacob Wosensei, the picture of that.
Sa Aborigines Protection Act for no. And from 1897. You better do 1947.
It's a lie. It's a lie. Aborigines and Dane Amban 1947 BR. It's a big lie. Aborigines, the Juman was different. Amban by year 1947 BR. Chai sang trono autra. They want to say Akufo-Addo mo and Omoka say Big Six ni omo. What do you say? What do you say? So please, the people who are trying to say Power Grant was a member of the Aborigines, it is untrue. Power Grant was not a member of any Aborigines, please. It's just like today we type in the Big Six, and then which people do we see? We see Akufo-Addo's father, we see Akufo-Addo's uncle, we see Akufo-Addo's who else again? Maternal uncle, and then we say they are the Big Six. Meanwhile, these were the people who wrote letter to the Queen and said that we should not gain independence. But because the history was not well written, today you and I, who is a learned person, is believing that story. It's the same thing Kevin Taylor and co. have picked a story that was written by an NPP man connecting Aborigines Right Protection Society to be UGCC. Please, I don't know. Why? My own so dear, I rest my case.
Now, into the United Gold Coast Convention. Inti sa Aborigines are there tea, you know. Afedi dini besaye. Ebedani UGCC, United Gold Coast Convention. Now, the reason is simple. Pa Grant, a member of the ARPS, proposed to Dr. Joseph Boache Dankwa to include some of the former members of ARPS to be part of the newly to be formed UGCC, since they had already started a similar movement. Inti eye obi a friend Pa Grant, ena one eye Ekufuado nana, eye ne papa nua. Omo no mo yamaje so beti UGCC. Na omo beti UGCC no, ena Pa Grant ka che Ekufuado. Ne wofa say oh. Ayan kofo no ka Aborigines fo no omo yan kofo bi so no mo so omo adwene mo bi aka ti yan fo mo bi meka ye ho na yan fanti UGCC no eti Pa Grant na suggest kire Dr. Joseph Boache Dankwa say mo ma yan fo mo meka ye ho na yan den na yan ti UGCC Aborigines na gu isi ya bebie a change the din ababa ye UGCC.
You see Mamenfa a Wikipedia and most factual historians and yet they are NPP for both no macho normally about a 12 thing. Now some people want us to believe and consume it. Please, we won't do that. What you say? So the ARPS, there was nowhere NPP for become JB Dankwa become Jacob Sensei become. As a matter of fact, the people that were part of the Aborigines Right Protection Society, these are their names. 1. Jacob Sensei, J.P. Brown, J.E. Casely Hayford, William Esuman, Peterson, J.E. Biney, H. Van Hain, Kobna Sechi, Mensa Saba. And even Mensa Saba, the reason why Anukwa didn't bear him was because Mensa Saba was just a friend to Jacob Sensei. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Medeme, a friend saying, Medeme Assembly BC. This history has been distorted by Nyamransa Dokuno Eko Bedu Taylor. We yen man. Why? The Sremwa MPP for Sad big sis Womo Papanamo. Where were they when Nkrumah and Co, Bedema and Co were fighting to gain independence? Now Womo Ejane Ewo UK. The 6th of March 1957, when Ghana gained independence, that same day, na Kufuado what shine so awabedu UK. Or no, or say and womo papa mo anaide aji eye fa ho de dia mai. Abusia and I'm the basic. Thank you so much. Jacob Wilson say this is our man, our hero, our great man, the man that we have to respect. And yawo no a nka me no Ghana asase nka ene ye pese e ton asase wo Ghana agise ye beje ho nkrata e free the queen of
Santa, moi, Tina, Gilay, Nefambeu, a Kawata life, Ben life, and Line Lagwene, Nagwene, Tuname Dowa Gana, Gwene, Nagwene, Nagwene, medo we Ghana bene wonye.
Ina bene wonye don, bene wonye don.
Tuna medo we Ghana bene wonye.
Ilele woman Ghana akiya julo panaku bombwe.
Woman Ghana akera julo panaku onile we kwe ono. Ayamatai keje sawankeba ibakwe wono pepepe.
Woman Ghana akiya julo panaku.